doing? What you doing? I be in the break room. I be in the break room. Hit 'em in the break room. What you doing? Hey, what we doing? I be in the break room. I be in the break room.
What's up? What's up? It is Hump Day, and you are inside of Bink's Break Room podcast with Shawnee Scott, Action Jackson, the AKA Red Man lookalike over there.
Man, hey, side note, because I know we just talked about what we were going to talk about before then, but I know you stayed up and watched that versus last night, right?
I didn't rewatch it. I watched some of the clips. Like I had to go watch Do It All do his thing. I would roll back the Keith Murray part because Keith Murray came out and that was like, oh my god.
Yes.
So,
I mean, honestly, seriously, for me, not only because that was my twin, but for me, it was the dopest versus I've seen since they started it. Really, real talk. I mean, the Red Man, Method Man. I mean, basically what they did was their set. Have you ever seen them in concert?
No, I've never seen them in concert.
Yeah, that's basically their set. Like when they come in concert together, because they worked so well together and had done so many projects together. That's basically how they do a concert together when they go out on tour. But I mean, just the entertainment value and just the way it was. I mean, just bottom line, man. And then bringing out EPMD and the Wu-Tang Clan and like you said,
Do It All.
Keith Murray. Yeah. Oh man, it was crazy. It was crazy.
I said that was the best one that I have ever seen. The best one. The numbers to me were low, but that was the best one because they came out and they performed each song. Like we were at a live show. It wasn't just I'm gonna do this song. Okay, now it's my turn to do this song. Oh, let me sit. They wasn't sitting down in no chair.
Yeah,
wiping their head, laughing and giggling. They really brought it. It was time for some action, like for real. Time for some action.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like I said, if you ever saw them in concert, that's basically their routine, and that's how they get down on a show like all the time. But yeah, for me, I was thoroughly in my element watching that versus last night. I was just like,
and they look good. They look good. They like, Method Man. I always been fine in my book, but last night I was like, wait a minute, Meth, what's going on? Method and even Red Man was looking good. He was looking like a nice little snack.
Yeah, Method Man's been working out. You can tell Method been putting some time in the gym real easy.
Yeah. Very much so.
He got that acting gig now. He trying to look good on TV.
Well, he was looking real good on TV. Looked like a snack. I said, I got to comb my hair today just in case I can't have that hat on. I didn't feel like putting no makeup on, but I did, flat iron the hair again. And because everybody been hitting me up talking about, are you okay? You got that hat on. I'm like, I'm tired. I haven't had no sleep. I ain't had time to do nothing. But
yeah, Shawnee's busy, everybody. If you don't know, she's 365, 24/7. What's up, Kathy? How are you doing tonight, Mom? Appreciate you always checking in. Kathy is a soldier.
Hey, and we want you guys to make sure you check out our YouTube page at Media Room 360. Make sure you check that out. Because we might have some cool things going on there. That's what I'm gonna say about that. Real quick, I want to shout out Kevin Kirksey. We're rocking. Oh, you can't see because my microphone in the way, but the Kevin Kirksey apparel tonight. Thank him for being one of our first supporters. Also got to shout out Justice for My Jewel. They have signed to Media Room 360 to do an endorsement deal with myself and Sexy Mo in the mornings. So if you have females in your life that have cycles, then we're going to have so much information and different products for you to help them choose products that are not, that help prevent, that, you know, not prevent, but help prevent ovarian and cervical cancers. So, yeah.
Nice.
Thank you, Stuart. Yes, I got the underground look. I look like I looked at OCU and U of H.
Yeah. We appreciate you guys checking us out too, and shout out our compadre Big Bink, who was on daddy duty tonight, and we appreciate you guys. Don't forget, download the app. It's free, Media Room 360, and check out all the content that's going on Media Room 360, and then you guys can be on tap on what's going on, and we are definitely keeping you abreast of what's happening in your world, and keeping it 100 in the break room always, 8 p.m. Central right now with Shawnee and Action. And we were just talking about the verses last night, because if you've seen the verses last night, make sure you comment on that, because definitely want to hear your comment what you thought about the Redman Method Man. And I, again, hands down for me, one of the hottest so far, because again, it just shows you. And they brought out DJ Cool too, and DJ Cool was like, yo, I'm 62 years old and still doing it. And to me, that's just like what Bink is saying, like, it's never too late, never too you're never too old, because he came out and rocked it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, Scratch did his thing too.
Yeah, Scratch, EPMD, when they came out and rocked it. Everybody rocked it. And it's like, I would put them up against any of the rhymers of today right now.
Here, I got a clip of like when Do It All came out. A short clip. It's not
yes.
Here we go.
Now comes North New Jersey. What up? Oh, no. Gods of the underground. Mac, what up? What up? Funky child. Do it all. Hit him. Born with the focus on the womb of Brenda. Did not like the Lord, but they used to fit the spinner. Work with the
oh man, it was giving me hype. Oh, that was giving me hype. Oh, that was giving me hype.
I want to watch the whole thing over, and where I'm not driving, because it came on when I was at track practice.
Yeah,
and I had to drive home. Then I got here. We had to jump on the show, and I'm trying to watch it and do the show at the same time. So I want to just sit down and watch it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kathy, you didn't see it? Oh man, Kathy, you got get on the gram, get on that verses right there, Redman Method Man. You will not be disappointed. J. Cool was 60.
When you thought he was speaking, let me clear my throat. No, you didn't.
Let me clear my man. Represent that DC, Maryland, Virginia area right there. Shout out everybody, DC, Maryland, Virginia, that DMV. You know what I mean? Honestly, like I said, just for me, just throwing it back, just listening to some of that hip hop from back in the day, and just, again, Method Man is like on my top 10. Like, he stays in my top 10 as far as like MCs are concerned, because it's just, to me, Method is serious with his, when he comes to rhyming, stuff like that. All right. And so, again, what else is going on in the world that you want to get into?
Oh, man. What's going on in the world I really don't want to get into.
Yeah.
Because this story has had me depressed like all day. Like when I got it last night, it put me in a space, because I have daughters. You know, I know you have daughters too, but this 15-year-old girl in Columbus, Ohio, that was shot behind people bullying her. She's the one that called the police, but she ended up losing her life because two girls decided they were going to come to her house and jump her. Okay, so she calls the police, and police show up, but when they show up, the one girl is trying to jump on her, and so she got the best of her, knocked her down. I think it's her dad or something that's kicking the girl that's on the ground. The officer walks past that because he said he saw a knife in the 15-year-old's hand, and she was going after the other girl. And he shoots her 4 times, and she dies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, you can break up some girls fighting, and you know, I've heard what has been said to me was, well, Shawnee, what would you want them to do if somebody had a knife, you know, on your daughter? would you want them to, shoot her to stop? I would want them to stop the young girl because these are kids. I wouldn't want them to kill them. I would want them to stop. No, I don't want my daughter to get stabbed. No, I wouldn't want her to have that kind of injury or anything. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to see the other child killed. And it's like that you're 5 to 6 feet away from them. You just pull the gun out and just pow, 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 pow. And I've seen so many videos, I can't deal with it because I have seen videos of white officers talking white people down that have knives, have guns, are threatening to kill someone that will have it up on the person, and they talk them down, and it doesn't it don't make sense to me. It don't make sense to me. And it does make sense because at the end of the day, they really don't value our lives. Our lives mean nothing. It's like, okay, well, if it's a black person, you just shoot them and it's okay. Maybe that's not what they're saying verbatim when they have these meetings, but that's what's understood because you just killed a 15-year-old, 2 girls that were just fighting, and this is the one that called 911.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the police officer when he rolled up knew of the entire.
Oh, they're supposed to. I worked for Plano 911.
Yeah,
Plano 911.
I'm sure, but I'm saying like he didn't know like out of the people that called, he probably didn't know the girl with the knife was the one that called. He didn't know like what was going on. He rolled up on the situation and it was kind of hostile. I'm not justifying what the officer did. What the officer did.
They're supposed to give them a description of each person. So what's supposed to happen is, okay, there's a respondent and then there is I can't remember the name. So they get a description of this before they get there.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I don't know. I mean, to me, that's a hard situation. And I understand like what the person was asking you. Like if that was my daughter and the girl was raising a knife and getting ready to try to stab my daughter, would I want the officer to stop her from stabbing my daughter? Of course I would. But again, like Kathy said, maybe you could have used a taser. That's a possibility. And
they have rubber bullets that they can use.
Yeah, but the rubber bullet thing, I think that they have to be loaded down for that. I don't think they come with that prepared for like the rubber bullet situation. But that's just a hard call and it's a hard situation. But for me though, and for you, I know as a parent, it wouldn't even got that far. You talking about some chicks coming to my house bullying my daughters, and then the situation goes outside. Like, no,
that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, like no.
I mean, but then we don't know if like, because this is the one thing with my kids why I don't let them go out in the front, because if they're out in the front and I'm not there, I don't know what's going on. So you don't know if she was already outside and it popped off. And I had to have these conversations with them about if it's somebody that tried to fight you, or there's other people around egging on, oh, y'all ought to fight. Number one, those are not your friends. And you need to get away from them. Because when my daughter, one of them is here, doing school. The other one goes to school. And when I was in Houston, there was an incident where the girls, which, she called me and said, well, they were trying to fight me at school because I had her phone and I fell. Okay, number one, you shouldn't have had her phone. Because if her mama called me about the phone, I'm going to tell her your daughter shouldn't have had the phone at school. I'm not buying no phone. We can go to court over this. Second, when she got home today and I showed him this video, I'm going to play because innocent combing her hair on her Instagram. And now she got kids bullying her. So I'm going to show that first. I'm going to show her Instagram video first.
Okay.
And see, she just, I see my baby there.
Yeah, just a young girl. Young girl growing up.
Just doing what little girls do.
She has some pretty hair.
And yeah, styling her hair, you know, just doing her thing. Making her a tutorial. You know, she's not going to be able to do this again because somebody was bullying her.
Yeah, sad. And again, prayers out to the family during this situation always, and friends that have to deal with this. But yeah, again, it still wouldn't happen. I don't care.
And then this is what happened. Let me show you guys what happened too.
What's going on? What's going on? Hey, get down, get down, get down, get down.
And
yeah, that was too quick. That seemed like that was.
I mean, it was just bam, 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 you know, and she down. Like you can fire off a warning shot or something. I mean,
yeah, they don't do the whole warning shot thing, but yeah, I don't. That was just a very quick situation. I'm sure it was intense, and yeah, and just imagine though, like you, the dad, standing there and see that happen to your daughter, like that. I would have been. I'd have lost it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that if you're a father out there with me, you know what I'm talking about right now.
Because was that her dad that was there that was like kicking the girl?
No,
once the girl went down, there's a man there that's kicking the girl.
I don't know if that was the man that was kicking the girl, but you can hear clearly in the video the dude saying, "You just shot my baby.
Mm-hmm.
You shot my girl." So the dad had to be there. And imagine seeing that. And like I said, no, I don't know. That for me as a father would have been.
And you know what's crazy too about that? It lets you know where we are and what the dad's mindset was, because you know, if something happens to your child, your first instinct is to run to your child.
Yeah.
He didn't even run to his child.
Because you got freeze, because you got the cops.
Yeah, because you don't know if they're gonna shoot you too.
Yeah, shoot you too. Like you can't.
I mean, and I'm like, Stuart, 4 shots is tough. You don't shoot an animal like that, you know. Yeah, Shorty Doo-Wop said he could have stopped. He could have shot one time.
Well, yeah, it's a tough situation because she did have a knife. And he didn't know what she was going to do with that knife with that other person. And in his mind, I'm sure, again, not justifying the officer, but in his mind, I'm sure he thought he was saving that other person's life. And like the girl was getting ready to stab that other girl, which she probably was. If you're going to come to my house causing that rah-rah, yeah, you're going to catch some of that heat. So
yeah, because we don't know what these 2 girls came to jump this girl.
Yeah,
2 came over there to jump her.
Yeah, like I said, for me as a father, that wouldn't even happen. Like even if the girls would have been like, "Yo, come outside, we outside, come on outside," and my daughter be like, "Hey, Dad, these girls are outside. They want it. Because my daughter would come to me with that." And your daughters would
do that. My daughters would do that.
Yeah,
was that their situation, or was, you know? Because I know for me as a kid, if somebody would have came to my door and talking about they gonna fight me, I'm not walking back to mama. They talking about they gonna fight. I'm about to step outside. But that's me. And I know my kids not built for that. They've not been in situations like that. So they don't, you know, they'd be like, "Mommy, this girl said she want to fight me."
Yeah, if you gonna come all the way up to my house, you're gonna catch that smoke for real. I'm coming outside. I'm coming outside because I know if it goes left, I got like about 3 or 4 other brothers and sisters in the house that's looking out the window, like waiting for me to go down. Just hoping I go down. Like I'm gonna get this next. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, but for me, yeah, and you know, my kids, they're not built for that. So like, if some girls would come over and be like, "Hey, come meet me outside," they'd be like, "Dad, there's somebody outside." Yeah, they wouldn't even walk outside. It would have been me walking outside. Like, y'all better get your ass off my lawn, but get out of my house.
And Billy says cops are trained to shoot center mass. He saved the other girl's life, and it is sad all the way around. Yeah, he did save her life. And they are trained to shoot to kill, not to shoot to injure.
Yeah.
But I mean, my thing is, if it was two white girls, I don't believe that he would have shot to kill. My opinion.
Yeah, you know, I mean, again, I don't know, and just because of history, I could kind of agree with you on that. But and again, in this situation, it happened so quickly. Like, you can see the video; it happened so quickly. Like, but I don't understand, like, why he had the gun out. Because he did he see the knife right away? Did he? Because he come into a situation like what the gun was out already. That's my thing with the police officers, though. Like, when they come up on the black situation, why the guns out already? Like that just, it always seems like in our situation, the guns is out. And they come up on another situation like that, and they don't have their guns all out. They don't have, like, all drawn, ready to shoot.
Right. Absolutely. I remember one video. This white man had it was his mother at knife points. Had her down on the ground, knife on her. Cops came in, saw him. They put the knife down, put the knife down, put the knife down. I mean, they said it like, I don't know how many times. He didn't put the knife down. He walked away from the mom and, started waving the knife at them. Put the knife down, put the knife down, he eventually ran out the door. He didn't get shot. No shots fired.
Yeah.
This was a grown man. This was a grown man. We talking about some little girls out here fighting. And, and I know some cops will say, well, I'm not the one that was in that situation. I wasn't there. I don't know. But it's like, it doesn't matter, because whenever it is a bunch of white people doing foolishness, we don't see that. This morning on the morning show, we had an officer on that said, well, the media, they put this out here. Okay, I agree with that. The media does. We do see more killings of black people at white officers' hands than we do see white people being killed by white officers. It happens. Okay, we're not saying that it doesn't happen, but I mean, apparently white folks are not outraged enough to be, to talk about it as we are, because it keeps happening and happening and happening. That officer said that there have been, I guess in the city that he's in, 50 killings of white people at the hands of officers, and only like I believe, you can go back and watch it because I can't remember, like 30 of black people being killed. But
yeah, but usually those situations and circumstances are way different. Like, it's from what I've seen, again, on Actions Planet, it's more, they are really in those situations of life or death. Like, again, George Floyd wasn't a life or death situation.
Mm-hmm.
The what is his name? Right, the one that was just fleeing in Minneapolis. That wasn't a life or death situation. You know what I mean? And even in this situation with the girl, that wasn't, to me, a life or death. It may, at least for the cop. Again, the police officer probably thought he was saving that other person's life, which you can make a good argument for that. But usually, from what I've seen, if the white people are getting shot, it's like they're putting the police in a either you gonna kill me or I'm gonna kill you situation.
Right. And I mean, and even with him saying, you save the life of the perpetrator, not the victim.
Yeah.
You saved the life of the person that came and trespassed on somebody else's property and was trying to cause bodily harm to them.
Yeah. Again, that's what I'm thinking. Like, he was confused probably about what was going on. And again, he didn't know that was the girl that probably called the police, even with the description.
because those girls are completely different. They give them a description. We have to describe that to them. When I worked there, we had to describe them from head to toe.
Yeah.
There's no similarities. Only similarities I would say would be with the girl that got knocked on the ground and the girl that was about to get stabbed.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
maybe we thought that she was a bigger threat because of her body mass, her size. I don't know, but when you send the officer out, you know, you have to give them the information of what they're walking into as the dispatcher. We don't get the call and just say, oh, okay, there's a disturbance at 123 Elm Street. No, okay. Disturbance at 123 Elm Street. 2 perpetrators, black female, brown hair, brown eyes, scar under eye, wearing red top, blue pants. You get the whole description from head to like this is like part of the training. Like,
yeah.
So, and as a 911 operator, you can't panic.
Yeah.
we can request the records and hear and see. That's what I would tell the family. You know, get that, see what was said, in that recording.
Excuse me, full disclosure. I applied for a 911 job and they called me into the room after the test and everything else, and they're like, "Yo, sorry."
Where did you apply? In Plano?
Yeah, I applied in Plano like a long time ago, like right when I was leaving radio, because I was thinking, like I said, I was going into the law career, and then I was like, okay, 911 is a good way to get in, and I mean, I messed up on the typing test. I couldn't type fast enough.
Oh yeah, and see, you got to be able to, and then that's another thing. Like what I did like about Plano, because I worked Plano, and then there's another place that I worked that I ain't gonna say because they were trash. They were hot trash. But in Plano, the other thing is you have the call taker. So you start out as the call taker. You're the person that's speaking to the person calling in.
Yeah,
and then you dispatch it to a dispatcher that's sitting in the room with you. So if there's confusion, they can talk back and forth and say, you know, talk to the person taking the call that has a person on the phone. Okay, hey, what color shirt does she have on? And that one person is talking to the officers, so they understand what's going on.
Yeah, I failed the test. They were like, "No, brother,
don't try again. Don't try again."
No, I'm not. Hey, everybody, the fearless leader is here. It's Big Break Room Podcast, Action Shani, and now joining the trifecta, my man, the myth, the legend, Bink. Hey, Bink, we were just talking about the girl, the young lady that got shot by the police officer with the other girls fighting.
Old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
So if anybody in my Ohio vicinity, my family in Columbus, if you are checking out the podcast, go ahead and put it in the comments. Let us bring you up on the show so you can kind of give us an idea of what's happening in the city, what they doing, are people protesting, what side of town was that on? Because honestly, where they was fighting at looked like the block where I used to live at. That's where it looked. That's what it looked like. But a lot of neighborhoods in Columbus kind of look similar because all the houses have siding. You know, you got a lot of brick houses, but you got a lot of housing with siding on it, not brick. So, matter of fact, I was the only one in my neighborhood with a brick house when I lived there. But that block, I was like, man, that looked like McCutcheon's Crossing. So if anybody in the Columbus, Ohio family checking out the podcast right now, hit us up, man, so we can try to take the temperature of Columbus, Ohio right now. Every year, you know, it's something, you know, in Columbus, somebody getting shot, something crazy, you know, prayers go out to the entire family. Now, I came in when y'all was talking about the police protocol. And I learned something today on, I was watching CNN at the press conference. Mayor Ginther was up there and they had the police chief. His name is Chris something. He was up there talking, but his thing was, you know, obviously we're going to do the information and we're going to find out what happened. But if somebody is posing a threat, we are trained to shoot center mass. That's the chest. This is the biggest part of the body that you can hit, I guess. The reporter was like, well, I mean, why did you have to? You could have shot her in the leg or the arm. And his answer was, well, if you shoot somebody in the leg and the arm, it's a possibility that the bullet will go through and end up hitting something or somebody else. My opinion, I'm not an officer, never been trained. And I'm not just saying this because two women are fighting, but the lady did have a knife. She was going in, looked like she was going in slow motion, looked like she was going in. How come he couldn't have tased her or just ran up there and knocked her down? Like, why you have to shoot her 4 times? I could see, I can't even see once, just once, maybe to scare something, but you shot her 4 times, like 4. Again, I don't have any training. I'm not a police officer, but just the way it looked, 4 times. And I would feel the same way if it was a male, like you shot a dude 4 times. You shot the female 4 times. You could have just shot 1 time just to scare her off. Because it seemed like they was into what they was doing. And it looked like another dude was beating her up too. It looked like it was another dude, the dude with the hood on. Looked like
he was kicking the other girl.
Yeah, it looked like he was doing something too. So I understand it was a high pressure situation. You get now trying to assess everything. You hear him stop or whatever he kept saying. As soon as he got out the car, stop. He could have went on ahead and grabbed that taser. Like, I don't get it. The first reaction, it seems like, for police officers, based on what we see all the time, is to shoot. And this is broad daylight. This is broad daylight. Now,
yeah, sad.
It's crazy. Michael Woods is the interim police chief. That's who was talking today. The older white man at the conference. I thought his name was Chris something. Also, probably didn't know because the dispatch did not get a full description.
Yeah, and we know from the officer that did kill the young man with the gun instead of the taser, it only takes 1 shot because she only shot once. I mean, four times is a lot.
In Columbus all the time, though, like the police, and every year it's a couple of people every year. Just some get that attention, some don't. This is just ironic that as soon as we celebrate George Floyd's victory, for accountability, then it happens hours later to a black female in Columbus, Ohio.
A 15-year-old.
Oh, she's 15.
She's 15. I mean, and then the other thing that that's an issue that they, shot this little girl, killed this little girl. But the other issue is these girls going to the house to jump her. And it's in our
Wait,
culture.
they jumped her and she the one that got killed?
Yes. Yeah. She's the one that called the police.
Yeah, she's the one that called the police. They came to the house to bully her.
Yeah, they came over there to jump her.
She started
called the police.
Yeah, she started fighting.
And so those 2 little girls, I think they should be held accountable too.
Absolutely.
They should be held accountable.
Exactly.
Because none of this would have never happened if they weren't out here acting like ratchet hood rats.
Yeah, there could be a case for that for sure. Like if the state prosecutor or whoever's going to take this case, there could be definitely a case for holding those young ladies accountable for even going over there and bullying the young woman, because again, they could be a cause of her death because therefore, if they wouldn't have caused the situation, she wouldn't have got shot. So yeah, of course.
Over there.
So the dude that was kicking the girl, he was on the girl that
I
was
believe that was the dad. Let me see. Let's watch it. Let's watch it.
She just went at her.
And like he still got the gun out.
Like, what are you doing? Like, and then they standing there. Then they standing there. See, this is what I hate about I hate that. They just standing there like, oh, okay, well.
He just
nobody trying to go down there and render aid, nothing like that.
Can you play that again? Play that again.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I sure can.
It's my first time seeing this. I didn't see this view.
She just went at her.
So
yeah, you can see there's other officers there. What was going on? Like again, they could have broken up that situation because they were on the scene.
Yeah,
when they came busting out the house and the dad was kicking the girl, the officers were right there. Like they couldn't have broke that up.
And that's what I'm saying. These are girls fighting. Okay, they big in size, but they're kids fighting.
Yeah.
Who ain't had a fight?
That's just horrible. The first instinct is to shoot. Yeah, she might have stabbed the girl, whatever. But when she stabbed her, he could have got her in a headlock, knocked her down, and fought her off to get the knife off. And he didn't. Again, I'm not a police officer. I can't make judgment, but that just don't seem like that was the answer to shoot.
No, and then he's standing there after he did all that shooting, talking about look. He still got the gun out, looking around, like, dude, like for real. What else are you gonna do? I mean, she not getting up.
Yeah,
she ain't getting up.
yeah, like they came around the corner. Like I said, the police were already there. You can see that they're already there. So again, when they came around the corner and the dad's kicking the girl on the ground, they could have intervened at that point and broken up the fight, and because obviously they saw what was going on. Mm-hmm. And like I said, he came with his gun out. The gun was already out.
Right? How ironic!
And he had his taser. I'm trying to find this picture of him, but I have a photo of him.
How ironic that the woman, the little girl, the girl who called the police to address the situation is the one who ended up getting killed.
Yeah.
That is the one
that gets killed. This little baby right here, and it just, for me, looking at this was on her Instagram page. This is her. This is a little girl. This is a little girl, doing little girl things.
Yeah.
Just living life. That car, if you notice, the car wasn't all the way in the driveway, so I'm assuming the girls drove over there to jump her. This is a 15-year-old minding her business. And you don't know what the backstory is, but whatever the backstory is, they came to her house where she lives to beat her up, jump on her for whatever reason.
Yeah, they should be held accountable.
She called the police, which is, what they want us to have these relationships with police where we want to call them when something is wrong. But I don't want to call police when something going on. I'd rather just handle it myself. Because ain't nobody gonna end up dead. Ain't nobody gonna end up dead.
Yeah. Now it's like one of those things where, like, man, I don't know if I want to call the police, man.
You want to call the
police? No, man, I ain't gonna. Hey, somebody just broke into your house. Call the police. No, man.
Okay, it's like when the drunk driver hit me. Y'all remember when I got hit by the drunk driver?
Yeah.
The black man that was drunk. And everybody around was like, call the police, call the police. And I was like, nah, I don't want to call the police because they're going to come over, they're going to shoot this man. And he's drunk. Yes, I'm upset that he ran into the back of me, but I can look at this man and clearly tell that he is contemplating life and death. I don't think that he meant to do it. I want him to pay for my car and stuff, but I'm not calling the police.
Somebody broke into your house, Action. They're still in here. Call the police.
No. They going to come and say, Action, the burglar.
No, man.
Yeah, they might shoot you.
But you know what's ironic, though? You know what's ironic? And I know we all got feelings about this, but we just watched the killing of somebody. Like we was watching
the news.
Well, no, I'm just saying
like a TikTok video, like just regular
exactly,
video, like just a regular old video.
Like we are so desensitized. Now, don't get me wrong, we got our feelings about it, but we so desensitized. I remember there was a time I couldn't watch nothing like that. Like this little girl actually died, and I watched her die.
Yeah.
But it was like a scene from a movie.
Yeah.
But we see it so much. And unfortunately, I know it's on social media. I know somebody posted it.
Yeah, of course.
Wait a minute. Where'd you get it from, Shani?
From the
social media.
Well, the police department had a news conference and they showed that's the body cam.
Yeah, they released that right away because they wanted to clear up what happened in that situation. That
officer should be, man, it looked like one of my partners, the one that was down there by her. I don't want to say his name, but I wonder if that was him rendering aid.
Well, they were checking at that point. The only thing that we have is them checking for the wound. So what I didn't play because I cut it off, but the officer that shot her actually grabs her feet and he pulls her body away from the car so they can raise her shirt up and look for the wounds where the bullets entered.
Yeah, because they trying to figure out, if she gonna make it or not to see if she's still alive.
She died right there. She was gone.
Yeah, I'm sure, but I'm saying like they were probably looking to see if they could save her life. See if they could.
It just was like no sense of urgency.
Like, no, it wasn't.
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
Yeah, it wasn't nothing. They were walking around for a second before they even knelt down to her to see what was going on. But it's crazy. But before we get into like all the comments, because everybody's making comments about George Floyd, about this situation, like Brett Favre and LeBron James. Just remind everybody, it's Big Bink's Break Room Podcast. Fearless leader up there, Big Bink.
Mm-hmm.
Got the CEO, the numero uno right there, Miss Shani, and Action down here. And then download the free app. Make sure you like and share and join in the conversation. We want to hear your comments about what's going on because we got to get into the other comments because you got the Brett Favre situation and you got LeBron James.
Well, let's start with LeBron. LeBron, because LeBron is speaking directly on this. I'm going to put
that's in Ohio. I mean, Columbus and Cleveland, that's 2 hours away.
Yeah.
And he in Columbus a lot. He definitely be at the Ohio State games where he used to when I lived down there.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about it, and the funny thing for me, and even with the right side of the aisle, it's funny. Like they tried to censure Maxine Waters for what she said, and they always so big up on cancel culture and so big on like freedom of speech and talking that mess. But then when somebody says something, they like, oh my God, I can't believe she said that. And then went through
when somebody black say something.
Yeah, but we went through 4 years of a president that did not hold back on nobody, and it was cool. You know what I'm saying? He could say
agree with you there. Gotta agree with you there.
He could say anything to anybody about anybody, and they'd be like, "Oh, that's just him. Oh, it's not a big deal." And if somebody says something now, it's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." I'm like, really? Did the last 4 years just did we just get Men in Black? Did we get all flashed out in the face and forget? Because it's like this dude dogged out everybody. He was a cyber bully.
Mm-hmm.
Could say anything he wanted to say. And again, if one of us come out or anybody come out with a comment that they don't like, all of a sudden it's like, oh my God. And LeBron didn't really even say anything bad. What did LeBron say, Shine?
So LeBron posted this photo of the officer, and that's what the photo that I was looking for. So you can see there he has his taser on the other side. You see that he has his arm, he has a sleeve on, and they usually wear sleeves when they're covering up tattoos. So I wonder what those tattoos look like. But LeBron just said, "You're next." #accountability. And this U.S. senator feels like LeBron is insinuating, which he was, that this officer should be prosecuted just like murderer. I mean, Derek Chauvin. Yeah, murderer. Yeah. So and he went on. The senator was like, "This has no place. Is the NBA okay with this? Is Twitter? This is disgraceful and dangerous. LeBron James is inciting violence against an Ohio police officer." I didn't get that out of the text. I mean, out of his post.
No, I didn't get it either. And again, even if he was doing a veiled threat like that, which I don't see it, it's like he has the right to say what he wants to say.
Absolutely.
I mean, again, we are in a country where we're supposed to have freedom of speech, and he didn't, and in no way there did he advocate violence, even if it's insinuated. He didn't say it.
He just said, "You're next."
Yeah, you're next. So I mean, again, the man has the right.
Accountability.
Exactly. So again, I find it just odd that you come from 4 years of a man that can say anything he wanted to say, even incited a riot.
Right.
And
everybody got their head turned like,
That's
just the president. He'd be tripping.
Yeah. So again, it's crazy. So go ahead, LeBron. Be you. I'm glad LeBron has always stepped up in these critical moments in our history thus far, and stepped up and has made the NBA step up.
So it'll be interesting to see if the Cavs will play their next game. I know it was in Columbus, but that's Ohio. It'll be interesting. Ohio State ain't got nothing going on right now, at least football or baseball. I mean, football or baseball or basketball. But again, Columbus is a college town. It's a family-oriented town. And again, stuff like this happen all the time. But I would imagine right now that there's a protest going on somewhere in Columbus. I would imagine that downtown, at the police station. I just got to figure out what side of town this was on. But hopefully there's a protest going on. But if I was a student and I played sports, I wouldn't do nothing. I wouldn't do nothing. The state of Minnesota, the Twins, the Timberwolves, and the Twins and the Timberwolves. I think they had a game as Dante Wright was killed a couple of weeks ago, and they didn't play. They chose not to play.
Yeah.
And we're seeing this over and over and over, these shootings and these killings. I don't know what to say. I'm at a loss for words that, if that's how it's going to be, can you at least just say it so we can be more prepared? If they got on the news and say, look, if we come out to a call and we coming for something violent, we coming with our guns out, I guarantee you the number of calls to the police department will be cut in half. Because now we know what it is.
I mean, but
they ain't got to say that. We already know what it is.
Yeah,
I mean, Well, we see it now, but
it depends on whose violent call it is.
Well, because if it's
black folks, listen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
N-words, listen. Niggas, listen.
Yeah.
Niggas, listen. This is what we doing.
Yeah, if they said that, at least we would know, and they wouldn't call the police no more. But now, when you call the police, you call it out because you need some assistance. But you never would think in a million years your assistance would end up killing you. So that's what I'm saying. If they say, look, all the black people, if you call us, we shooting on sight. They wouldn't call the police, and maybe more black people to be alive. I hate to say it like that, but that's what it's coming down to.
Yeah, I mean, again, we have to understand, and maybe we can get one of our white friends on here. We all have one.
I don't want to talk to no white people about this.
No, because again, we have to understand, like, what is the fear?
They don't say it though. They dance around it, and they, you know, this is my thing with white people in this. They know that it's wrong. They know that. Like, we all know that it's wrong and it's not supposed to happen, but they really can't understand because they've never been through it.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, they have it's obviously a fear that they have of us as a people. Because when they come up on us, it's always a fearful situation. Like, again, they don't fear their own kind because, again, we've all seen video. It's nothing new of them coming up to a situation where it's white people.
You know why they fear us? You know the answer to this.
No, I don't. I don't understand why would they fear?
You know why they fear us? Because
why would they fear me? I look like Red Man. Why do they fear me?
Because
that's funny.
We don't, as a people, you know, we don't protect, we don't take care of our own. We allow too much to go on. We have gangster rappers that talk about killing each other. We don't, and I'm not saying that white people don't kill each other, because it's white on white crime too. So black on black crime, that term is the stupidest thing I've ever heard, because white folks kill white folks, Asians kill Asians, Mexicans kill Mexicans. Everybody kills everybody, but ours is so it's just under this magnifying glass. And then we allowed the entertainment industry to use us in that way. We went from, because I remember one time I was watching the Grammys. And I kept thinking, why is it so whack? When I was growing up, you had R&B artists after R&B artists on there. And when I sit down and go through and listen to their songs and the content of their songs and them talking about
I don't know, Kathy.
Love and
I don't know, Kathy.
And they talking about love, building a family. That whole agenda got twisted. And it became, you my bitch, you my hoe, I got a side chick. And I'm saying the words because it doesn't make sense to sugarcoat them and to say N-word. That ain't what they saying when they think of us. They not saying N-word. Now say it. Deal with the words. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like,
the music has changed. The music has changed. If you treat your wife like crap, if I come into your house and you over there talking to your wife like crap, slapping her upside her head and all of that, you know what? You're going to treat me the same way. So why should I even get into any kind of confrontation with you if that's not what I want? Okay.
Yeah, but they fear us. I'm just trying to figure out why they fear us.
And we won't do nothing about it to change our culture. Now, some of it is taught. You know, they were taught that we're animals, we're savages and this. But when you out here glorifying
I am
people
a savage.
getting on TV,
sassy,
fighting, and you know, I'm gonna go jump this person, and you know, we think that's cute. Come on now.
Come on, Billy. It ain't got nothing to do with throw baby.
It got everything to do with that. And we
won't, baby. No.
And we just keep on, you know, how is you know, nothing against some of these rappers, but I don't understand how they get the accolades they get with the content that they are speaking of.
But see, like, you putting it in the context of today, we could take this back to 1800 where it wasn't no MC whatever.
No, it wasn't. But that's what they were taught.
But they had, again, that's what I'm saying. I need to figure out and understand why, how, where did, how come it come from that you have a fear of us. I mean, a legitimate fear. And again, it didn't have nothing to do with rap because rap wasn't back then. They feared us back then.
Because that's what they were taught. That's what they were told, that we were animals.
Again, if they were taught, Yeah, but again, if they were taught, it's a reason why it was taught to them, and I'm trying to understand what is the reasoning behind teaching a whole culture, a whole race of people, that they should be afraid of the color of my skin.
Well, we got to go back to Christopher Columbus and see if we get that answer from him, because
Yeah. Chris,
they
I
the
need to
ones that
talk to you.
came over here disease infested and stuff, messing up America. They came over here with that and then called everybody savages that didn't look like them and was,
That's
killing
true.
people. And the thing about like Columbus, I had to tell my daughters, listen, they was over there fine in England. They just didn't want to follow instructions and do what the queen told them to do. So they got on the ship, the king, and came over here so they could try to run this. And the people here were too nice and trusting and allowed them in, and they just, took over stuff.
Took over and murdered, and then we celebrate the day Thanksgiving for that.
Yeah, they been
let them come
murdering.
in. Y'all come on in and get some of this food, man. The Indians let them in, like, y'all come on. Got chicken, we got everything over here, and they end up killing them all.
Yeah,
well, the Spanish were already here before Christopher Columbus, though. America was,
but that's what I'm saying. Yeah. They came over here and messed it up. Everybody was fine.
But to answer the question, it's because African Americans.
No, Stu, we don't sound like our parents.
Africa is the motherland. That's where all life originated, and we are the superior race. And they're taught to try to conquer the superior race. That's how it's been since humans have been on Earth. So that's why they scared, because they know what we're capable of doing. They put us on ships, 400, 500 deep. We rode from Africa to America. The people who made the trip is some of the strongest people in the world ever. And we have lineage that go back to that boat. So that's why they're afraid of us.
Everybody didn't make it all the way on the boat because, sometimes if they started having issues in the water, it got too heavy or whatever, they would dump them, they dumped them over in the water. So they didn't care about life then. Can you imagine? They just, we going to throw y'all in the water and let y'all drown because it's too much weight on the boat.
Yeah. I mean, for any reason. Again, I know that question probably for me personally will never get answered. Or never get answered to my satisfaction, but it's just one of those questions that I really do have inside my soul. Like, what is it about somebody that looks like us that makes police officers so fearful that your first instinct is, I have to pull out my gun because something could happen, and even over a simple traffic stop, a simple encounter with any one of us. Just me, you, and Bink. A simple encounter with any one of us, and it could be over with because of the color of our skin. To me, that is crazy.
Yeah, that's just reality, though. I wish what they would do from now on, you make it mandatory that all police have to be divided up by race in the car. I know that sounds crazy, but it can't be two white people in the police cars. One black, one white. One black, one Asian, one Mexican, one white, or whatever. But never two white people coming to address a situation. I know that sounds crazy, but I feel more comfortable if a black man was in the vicinity. I would.
Even with that, because if that black man feels like this white man can cause me to lose my job, he not gonna look.
I'm sorry.
No, this is my opinion, and I'm gonna say this. And I mean, if you're a police officer listening, listen, baby, if the shoe fit, tie it up and wear it. But to me, in law enforcement, we got a whole bunch of pussies. They scared, they hiding behind the badge because they couldn't do whatever, when they were younger, people was bullying them. Okay. And so they go get this badge. It's an easy job. This is an easy job. And I'm saying it's an easy job because you can hide behind the badge and you got a license to kill. They're not properly trained. No, they're not. All they do is make it through. It used to be you had to have a bachelor's degree to be a police officer. Now you just be a police officer. Change it up. Make them go back to making them have bachelor degrees so they have to take psychology. They need to go to other neighborhoods and understand. It's like, and you have to do that just about with any job. In radio, I work different markets, working different markets outside of the South. What do they do? They help me understand people, so I can be put in any situation and understand how to react. But officers have it easy. They get a job, they get a check, they get a pension, they get a retirement, or they get a badge and a license to kill.
Yep, that's true. That is true.
Now, that's nothing is absolute, so I'm not talking about all police officers, but the ones that we having all these problems with, that's what I believe the issue is. They weak.
The funny thing I was laughing at is Bink's like, we should segregate the police department and
I believe that.
but it was a black, a white, and an Asian one that was at the George Floyd.
Yeah, and I'm like, nah, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
The
Asian guy was keeping them back. The black guy was light skinned and black, but he was a brother. And then there was the white guy, Chauvin was there. So they had all three races there, and it still happened. So
the black guy didn't stand up to the black guy. You know, military, I think, and in the military, you got racist people in the military too, but the training is different. You know, the training is different. And and to me, you know, even though you might have somebody that's like that, we're taught to, you know, we're one. Like, no, you Navy. Now they might have some thoughts in the back of their mind, but I don't know.
I think with the stimulus package that President Biden is proposing right now, I think part of those funds, because that's what the that's what the stimulus is about. I think some of the funds should go toward crisis management. Like, I think along with probably having some integrated officers working together more, I think they should have a crisis management person riding with the police that is unarmed, that can talk out and deal with these situations as well. Because I think they need to be able to afford that, to place maybe instead of two officers, have one officer and one crisis management person to ride with the officer. So
as long as the officer ain't thrown off.
Well, yeah, even if the officers kind of throw it off, but then you still have one person with a gun, one person without a gun. So if you need a gun, you have it there. If you have one person that doesn't need a gun, you have somebody that can sit up there and talk somebody down that has those kind of skills, those kind of psychological skills that can help out in the situation. Because every situation doesn't call for a gun.
Yeah, but that's why I said they all need that. They need to have they need to all major in psychology if you want to be a police officer. You need to, everybody needs to major. That needs to be the major, so you can understand, because they just getting these jobs. They just get the job because they can run 2 miles. They need to let the dog attack them. Like, they get pepper sprayed, but get shot, let them get shot. Let's see how that work out.
You want to be a cop? We got to shoot you.
You got to get shot. You got to get shot. So you see how this feels. We got to go through the gas chamber.
Nah. Yeah, nobody want to be a cop if you got to get shot first.
If you don't want to get shot, because that's one of the risks of becoming a cop. Cops have to walk into danger. If I call 911, they over here shooting, guess what? The cop is not supposed to stand back and say, well, they shooting, I don't want to go in there. No, you're the cop. You're supposed to come save the day. You Superman, right? This is what you wanted to do. You want to be Wonder Woman. So come save me in the bullets. You run in the bullets. So maybe you need to be shot at a couple times so you can understand what that's like, and you'll be able to react in the situation.
Yeah, let's follow that rabbit hole down the hole. So if you want to be a fireman, you need at least a 2nd-degree burn. We got to burn you.
We need to set you on fire.
Yeah, we got to set you on fire. If you want to be a fireman, you got to be able to handle this heat.
Because if you black, guess what? You got to be ready to take these bullets when the cops pull you over. You got to be ready to die when the cops pull you over.
If you want to be a cop, you got to go to Big T as security with no weapon. All right. on a tax-free Friday, you gotta be security,
or take a trip to Nigeria and hang out there, or the Congo, hang out there.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Like I said, it's just tough, and again, we just gotta pray for those families that are going through this situation right now, and everybody else, because it is hard. And even though we didn't really get into what Brett Favre said, I mean, just note that his comments were kind of like crazy.
What did he say?
He said that Officer Chauvin didn't mean to kill George Floyd. He didn't mean to. It was an accident.
Yeah.
Shut your ass up.
Yeah, that's one hit too many. That's one hit too many in the NFL.
Oh, ass. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's funny, like when people again.
Police say 16-year-old Micaiah Bryant was shot and killed.
Brett Favre, like we said before, has a right to say what he wants to say. It's freedom of speech both ways. But again, when you have a jury of your peers that have found you guilty of that crime, and then for him to come out and say, well, he didn't mean to kill him, well, that's not what the jury thought.
Yeah, and you're white, and you're going to side with your white friends, and we understand.
Absolutely, and that's why I'm saying,
power.
like,
we understand.
Nothing against white folks, but I think if we did have the one person that probably would be keep it 150 with us is dead. That's Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah,
but we would need somebody like that would actually talk. But even with that, I remember sometimes when he did that interview with the Breakfast Club, he kind of danced around some things too, and wouldn't just come on and say it. And they're just not. They don't want to deal with it. They just want to keep living this happy life, like everything is okay, because it doesn't affect them. It doesn't affect.
Yeah,
them.
They don't have to go through that. Absolutely, totally different approach with this white people. Totally different approach.
And just on Planet Action, and this ain't got nothing to do with Big Bink Break Room. And you guys out there in land. In the media world can give me all this smoke because I'll take it all. But if there is a place in hell that is the hottest, I hope Rush Limbaugh got a seat right next to that. All right, Rush. Man, I cannot stand Rush Limbaugh. And when he had cancer and got diagnosed with cancer and was dying slow of that cancer death, I was like, karma is a bitch. Because it's like you got the worst of the worst, buddy, and I hope you dying in all kind of pain. And that's just me. I never respected Rush Limbaugh, what he said, what he did, what he cultivated, and what he took this nation through. He had millions of followers. He was part of the whole right-wing division that we've had throughout this country, where instead of trying to be united, he was being that divider. So again, got no sympathy for Rush Limbaugh whatsoever.
That's what that is.
Yeah, none. Address it all to action.
There you go.
And make sure you go back and watch Versus. Yeah, that'll lift the spirits a little bit. Watch Versus.
I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch that again tonight, Sean. I'm real talk.
Yeah.
Real quick, Big, before we get out of here, because I know we gotta go. We're running late. But what'd you think? Did you watch it last night?
No. Everybody was talking about it today, and I checked in and out, but I didn't really get a chance to really digest it. Like usually the day after, I'll watch it, but I didn't get a chance to watch it today. But I'm gonna watch it tonight. When I get in my zone, that's usually about 10:30. I'm gonna go and check it out, man. But I heard it was really good.
Man, I was like, I was waiting for you to say something about when they brought out EPMD.
Oh, see, I didn't even know they did that. You know, the fire.
No, not at all, because you still got to see it perform. But I'm just like,
it is. Man.
Yeah, it's like,
man, Parrish out.
Yeah,
they was all crew at one point. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. And Redman, come on, man. It's like, yes. I was like, Big. I was like, man, Big gonna like that. Yeah, you gonna love that, man. Love that.
Well,
slow move away from action.
I don't want that Old Testament Ralph. It's coming, baby. You better love blackness. You don't love blackness. We coming.
Hey, I'm telling you right. I'm right now. Seriously, Rush Limbaugh is here. I don't care. Rush was a hype man. Yeah, I don't care what. I hope he in the hottest place in hell. If there is such a thing, if it's real, and I believe it is, I hope he right next to the furnace. Yeah, but anyhow, time to get on out of here, y'all. Time to go.
Yeah,
Appreciate
make
you
sure
guys.
you get up in the morning, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. Check out Michael Sean and the Takeover Legends. It'll be a best of tomorrow because the crew is traveling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was a great show this morning. I love the show this morning. They had so much fun this morning. And always, and then recipes for conversation. You got Muck and Killer. Just a lot going on. 2G's got a lot going on Media Room 360. And make sure you download the app, tell a friend, share. Make sure you share, post, like, do all that other good stuff.
Download the app. Download the app.
Tell 10 people.
And start watching us on YouTube. Pull us up on YouTube. Media Room 360 on YouTube. Pull us up.
We need at least 800 views on our videos on YouTube.
Yes.
We got ways to go, but we need your help. All you got to do is tell 800 people. So,
Tell 800. Thirsty Thursday tomorrow. Throwback Thursday. What we doing?
Throwback Thursday? Okay. I don't know.
What's up with your pictures tomorrow? Get your pictures ready. We're going to show pictures tomorrow.
Oh,
really? Really? Pictures of what?
We're showing pictures. Throwback pictures of us.
Pictures of what?
Of us and our guests.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know.
Pictures
I'm
of
all our
old girlfriends. We'll do that. I got a bunch of them.
What happened to me and Mel's? Well, the show it's just on pause. We had some corporate issues that we ran into, so we had to push pause for a minute. But he's still here.
Mel's is still doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Good night.
Okay. Good night. See you guys tomorrow.
Great.
Hey, how you doing? What you doing? I be in the break room. I be in the break room. Bet I'm in the break room. What you doing? Hey, what we doing? I be